Hetty. See how that rhymes? It's funny. I have a guest joining me today, Sarah Megan Thomas. She's an actress, but she's also adding a million other things to her resume.
Yes.
Thanks for being here today, my dear.
Thank you for having me.
So, writer, producer, and star now of the movie Backwards.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, where do we even begin here? Tell us about the movie Backwards. I was reading the notes, and it sounds like I actually haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like a really interesting movie. It's sort of like somebody who has been working their you-know-what off to achieve greatness in a career, making sacrifices all along the way and leaving people in her wake, and she sort of has a kind of an epiphany.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a film about what happens in life when your big dream doesn't work out, whatever that may be. In this woman's case, it's about a woman who spent her whole life training for the Olympics, but she's the #1 alternate. So ultimately, she ends up sitting on the sidelines, and it's about how she moves forward from that setback.
What was it that gave you the idea to write this?
You know, a woman I rode with in college was the #1 alternate for the Sydney Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And I remember thinking at the time, that's such a huge accomplishment. That's fantastic. This would be a great film, though, because no one ever talks about that in sports films. They always win that big race or whatever they're aiming for.
So what happens to this person? She
goes home, and her mom's like, get a job, because she's turning 30. And so she becomes a coach at her old high school, which for her is a little bit degrading, because she thinks she's this Olympian, but she learns to rediscover life and falls in love with coaching.
It's not all about the fame and the power and the glory.
No, exactly.
It's about the simple things in life.
Exactly. Now, and James Van Der Beek.
I love James Van Der Beek. Now he's got a really good personality, doesn't he?
He's fantastic. He's really funny. I don't know if a lot of people know that about him.
Well, I've seen him in these videos.
Funny or Die.
Yeah, I mean he's very funny. But what was it about you that you decided to sort of move away from? I mean, you are starring in this film, but sort of move away from just that focus and adding all these other things to it.
I think it was that I really wanted to tell this story. I wanted to tell a mainstream sports film with a little bit of a different storyline out there that really inspired me to go do it myself, because I really wanted to get it done, and I wanted to be a good example for young female athletes out there.
Where are we going to see this movie?
It is in select theaters nationwide. It's been open since last Friday. We're expanding this Friday, tomorrow, and all the information's at backwardsthemovie.com.
Backwardsthemovie.com. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from? You went to school, you studied drama in London.
Yes, I'm from Philly originally, huge Eagles fan. Side note.
Oh, boy.
Side note.
Quiet.
Totally unrelated to the movie, but anyway.
How are they doing this season, by the way?
They're 2-1, I haven't been able to watch, so.
You've been a little busy.
A little busy.
We forgive you.
But then I went to Williams College and went to drama school in London, and have been in New York kind of doing independent film and commercials ever since, and this is the first film I've written and produced.
Now this is, acting is a tough thing. I thought years and years ago, my mom was a singer, and my dad was a TV producer, so I sort of merged the two and became, a journalist. But I thought at one point about going into acting, and I took a little detour for maybe like 6 months out of my life, and I just thought, this is brutal. I mean, this career itself is competitive, but acting, I mean, it's like literally every other person that you see in New York City, they want to be an actor. Why? What was it about you that made you stay with it? Did you have a lot of luck when you were young?
No, I didn't start professionally acting until after drama school. It's really hard. Any actress will tell you, or actor, it's a ton of rejection. It's a ton of picking yourself up and keep going. But I've always wanted to do this since I was 5, so I'm a little stubborn. And I told my parents, I'm going to be a theater major. They were like, great, honey. And then it kept going.
Do you see similarities between yourself and the character in this story?
Absolutely. I think in everyone's life there's a big dream, and acting's a good example. You may want to be in the Hollywood blockbuster, but you're in the indie. Whatever it may be, everybody dreams for something that they may or may not hit, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a better path.
So what ultimately do you want to do? I mean, what's your dream?
I love to act and I love to produce. Writing was kind of the means to getting to this, but I want to continue acting in other people's projects, but I definitely want to produce another film as well.
Are you thinking about anything?
I am, but it's totally top secret.
Watching. It's just the two of us talking here. Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. You can just keep it a secret.
Not a sports film.
But let us know. Is it a love story? Just give me the genre.
You have to have a love story. It's a thriller love story.
No, your personal life. Are we allowed to ask about that?
Please,
because I'm sure people are walking. Are you married?
I am married. I married my next door neighbor in New York. It is a fantastic story.
Nobody ever marries their next door neighbor. Nobody ever knows their next door neighbor.
I know, and I actually didn't like him that much at first. He knows this. But he's this great guy. He's from Oklahoma, and he kept knocking on the door. He's a Cowboys fan, so he used to hang Cowboys hats on my door. And we are very happily married, and James did not break us up, unfortunately.
How long have you guys been married?
4.5 years. Yeah.
Is it tough to be married and to be in the world of acting? I always think it would be a little bit jarring to see my boyfriend or husband kissing somebody else.
I think that is difficult for him. You know, it's part of the business, and you always say, like, it's not pleasurable. There are a lot of people around you. There's nothing romantic about it.
Is that true?
Sometimes. Yes, of course it's true. It is true. It is true that it's totally boring. It's not that exciting.
You're giving me the wink, aren't you? No, I'm just totally kidding. Okay, so again, we can find out any information that we need on this at backwardsmovie.com. Okay, wonderful. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. And it's going to be out. You'll find out everything you need to know on this website. And please say hi to James Vanderbeek for me.
I will.
He doesn't know who I am, but just say hi to him.
I'll send him an email today.
I think he's lovely. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Okay, we are.